Tonight on Cronkite News, the Supreme Court ruled that affirmative action is unconstitutional at several universities around the country. Find out why coming up.
Plus, it's the 10-year anniversary of the Yarnell fire in Prescott, how the city continues to remember the victims.
Hi, I'm Eduardo Morales, and I will have a preview of Mexico's Gold Cup game against Haiti here at State Farm Stadium.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Bree Pacelli.
And I'm Josh Amick. Thank you for joining us.
In a landmark ruling today, the Supreme Court said colleges cannot base their admission policies on a student's race without violating the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause.
Cronkite News reporter Shelly Garzone was at the court and has details.
A divided Supreme Court said that race-based college admissions policies served a purpose in the past, but that at some point they must come to an end. That end came here today. Students for Fair Admissions sued Harvard and the University of North Carolina, claiming that their race-based admissions policies violated the 14th Amendment by favoring one race over another. In a 6-3 ruling, the court agreed. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that while affirmative action is well-intentioned, it is a, quote, perilous remedy. Eliminating racial discrimination means eliminating all of it, he wrote. Arizona school superintendent calls that common sense reasoning.
We need to be colorblind. The college admissions should determine what people have achieved, what they know, what they can do, what is their character, not what race they were born into.
In her dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor said the ruling imposes, quote, a veneer of colorblindness in a society where race has always mattered and continues to matter in fact and in law. Advocates for affirmative action said Sotomayor got it right, and that there is still a need for affirmative action programs at colleges.
Access to education is one of the various tactics that systemic prejudice has been weaponized has been used or weaponized against in order to, create a playing field more in favor of those who seek to oppress other individuals.
Justice Roberts rejected that argument. He said that allowing race-based admissions to continue would be letting the courts pick winners and losers based on the color of their skin. Chief Justice John Roberts said students can still discuss how race and exposure to discrimination has shaped them, but that the Constitution, quote, does not tolerate race alone. At the Supreme Court, Shelly Garzone, Cronkite News.
The Arizona Board of Regents said in a statement today that the court's decision should not affect Arizona's public universities, which it said do not consider race in admissions.
Good news to report when it comes to the drought here in Arizona. All the rain we had over the winter and spring has largely erased the drought across much of our state. According to Arizona, the latest data from the U.S. Drought Monitor, the area in yellow is considered abnormally dry. But all the area in white means there is no drought present. Compare that to about this time last year when the entire state was in some form of drought from moderate to extreme.
If you have driven I-17 north of Phoenix over the last year, you may have noticed some changes. It's all a part of the I-17 improvement project, which includes brand new flex lanes. Flex lanes will operate as a separate highway, but the direction of traffic changes depending on when traffic is the heaviest. Typically, lanes will be open to northbound traffic Monday through Saturday and southbound traffic on Sunday. The lanes are being built between Black Canyon City and Sunset Point. The project is set to be done in 2025.
Tomorrow marks a sad anniversary. 10 years since the deaths of 19 firefighters from a Prescott hotshot crew.
Alexandria Cullen traveled north to see the impact these men and their sacrifice had on the community.
The hotshots were battling a fire in Yarnell, Arizona, when they became trapped. These men devoted their lives trying to save others. Now, 10 years later, others are devoting their time to keeping the memory and the impact of the hotshots alive.
I hope this mural serves as a tribute to our heroes, particularly the 19 fallen Granite Mountain hotshots.
June 30th, 2013 is a day locals won't forget. Those 19 fallen Granite Mountain hotshots were so much more. They were husbands, brothers, sons, and fathers.
This is such a close-knit community, and everybody had a Little League player, a friend from high school, a friend from church that was one of these hotshots. And one of the things that's come out of that is that our fire department has gotten kinder.
That kindness has created the sense of community that goes beyond the people living in Prescott.
Over the past 10 years, it's support that the public, total strangers who did not know any of the family, did not know any of the hot shots, when they visit our Learning and Tribute Center at the mall, they become emotional and they become part of it. And I hope it teaches people who hot shots are and what they do.
Artist Katie Von Krall experienced this firsthand by working closely with the friends and family of the hot shots when she designed this mural.
When you're not a part of this community and you've just seen it on the news, I think you can feel, that sense of what this was for people. But when you actually get on the inside and you meet these families and you live it day in and day out, it's totally different.
Over the past 10 years, a number of memorials have been created, including a hiking trail in Yarnell that takes hikers to the location of the tragedy, a learning and tribute center in Prescott, and now a mural that hangs above the Prescott Chamber of Commerce. The memory and lives of the fallen hotshots continue to live on through their community and beyond. The city of Prescott is hosting events for the anniversary through the rest of the week, including a commemorating event on Friday featuring former hotshot Brendan McDowell. In the newsroom, Alexandria Cullen, Cronkite News.
The Suns introduced Bradley Beal today. They acquired Beal in a trade for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and multiple future draft picks earlier this month. The three-time NBA All-Star was one of the more coveted players this offseason. And now that Beal is in the Valley, he has the chance to play with the most talent he's ever had, as well as compete for a championship. And he isn't shying away from the pressure.
I haven't had a chance to play with this type of talent level ever. So it's going to be new for me. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be challenging, but I'm accepting the challenge in front of me. I'm accepting the work. It won't be any different. You go in and you be who you are. They already told me from day one, we don't want you to come in and be anybody but yourself. We don't need you taking a back seat. Just be aggressive, be who you are. And Kay and Dev and DA are the same way. They don't want anybody to come in and feel like you have to walk on eggshells.
It's a big night of soccer at State Farm Stadium as Group B comes to Glendale for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. For more on the matchups, we head out to State Farm Stadium and join Enrique Ruport, who tells us what soccer fans can expect.
That's right, Bree. Group B of the Gold Cup tournament is playing a doubleheader here tonight. Qatar and Honduras play first, and with both teams coming off a loss, Qatar's head coach Carlos Queiroz has already identified key weaknesses within his team, and he's looking forward to playing Honduras, even though he knows that he will have his hands full.
We know that we play against a very, very good team with wonderful players as well. But this is our goal, our ambition. It is to perform well and try with good football to be better than Honduras. That's our goal.
Joining me now to talk more about the second game of the doubleheader, Mexico versus Haiti, is Eduardo Morales. Eduardo, a couple weeks ago, Mexico struggled in the CONCACAF Nations League, but since then they've gotten a new manager. How has the dynamic of the team changed thus far?
Yeah, so right now they're much better off. More specifically, the players are more happier, and they've adapted to the new style of play of new manager Jaime Lozano. Lozano did tell his players that he does not want them to underestimate Haiti, and even gave Haiti credit because of their last-minute winner and stamina in the prior round versus Qatar. Furthermore, he wants to see Mexico build and improve offensively and defensively as well. It's been an interesting 2 weeks for Mexico, as rumors swirled behind the scenes that players were unhappy with their former manager. Mexican midfielder Luis Romo is one of many players inside the locker room who say the team is much more in sync with Lozano at the helm.
Every time, from what I've seen from him, is that he is more clear with his ideas. He has drills that make you adapt faster to the system that he wants. He utilizes videos and is very specific in what he wants us to accomplish.
With Mexico vying for their 9th Gold Cup title, how do you think they will do tonight, and what are their chances for the rest of this tournament?
Yeah, so for tonight's matchup, I think Mexico definitely won it. Overall, I see them coming out on top of Group B and finally them making the finals. Anything less would be a disappointment for them and for the fans as well.
I mean, this certainly sets it up nicely for Mexico, especially if they could continue on the current run of form. But don't underestimate Qatar or Honduras, as a win for either team today ensures that going into the last group stage, that 3 teams have the chance to qualify for the quarterfinal round. Whatever happens today, though, it's going to be a fun watch for those coming down to State Farm Stadium to see the games. For Eduardo Morales and myself, I'm Enrique Rupert. It's back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Eduardo and Enrique. An exciting night of soccer at State Farm Stadium. Coming up after the break, a local pickleball group was founded just a few years ago, but it already has hundreds of members. And these pickleball players have made it their mission to make the game accessible to everyone. Their story is next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage.
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
As pickleball's popularity continues to rise, several groups are leading the way in making the sport accessible to everyone.
Arlen Horvat has more on how the group Arizona Deaf Pickleball is aiming to combine both the hearing and the deaf world to create a more inclusive community.
Arizona Deaf Pickleball is a group founded by Francisco Herman and Sean Benavente to merge both the deaf and hearing communities through pickleball. The group was founded in January of 2021 and now has over 400 members.
I want to work with this group because I want deaf people to come together. I want to see improvement in pickleball where deaf people play with hearing people. I want to see more deaf people involved.
The sport that is a mix of ping pong and tennis has become highly popular in the U.S. Both Herman and Benavente wanted to meet more hearing players and combine their groups to make for a more inclusive court.
Our mission is to educate hearing and deaf people play together. Teach hearing players how to score 1 through 10. We met most of the hearing players through the park and a tournament, and that's how we got them involved. And they were like very eager to learn the hairstyle, and we're very inclusive. We don't exclude anyone. We just include as long as they learn hairstyle.
Both the football huddle and the baseball signs ball and strike were created by deaf athletes. Francisco Herman of Arizona Deaf Pickleball thinks that pickleball is going in that direction, with the signs being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the scoring.
Deaf players can understand, so they was like, oh, no, huddle. They huddle, they relive, understand, break, boom. Nowadays they use it And then baseball, to the pro, they use ball, strike, ball before they just shouting to that baseball player that teach the umpire, like, no, do ball, strike, so they know the visual to the universal signal.
Both Benavente and Haraman are sponsored by a local pickleball company, Armor Pickleball. Company president Sheldon Lassard knew nothing about deaf people before sponsoring them.
I reached out to Sean, and we ended up meeting at Gilbert Regional Park one night. They taught us how to sign the score. We taught them a little bit about pickleball, fell in love with those two gentlemen. That night, if I remember correctly, I invited them both into being sponsored athletes for Armor Pickleball.
Pickleball is so accessible to the general public, which is why this is the fastest growing sport in America. Once you play, you're hooked, which is why Benavente continues to play the sport.
When I first played, I was like, wow, I love this. I fell in love with it and have been playing for over 5 years. Pickleball is more fun, but is also good for your mind and your body. You can play with different people, old or young, it doesn't matter. Pickleball is for anyone.
The Arizona Deaf Pickleball Group is only growing. A quarter of their members are hearing and have learned sign language along the way. With pickleball becoming more inclusive to all communities, it will continue to grow rapidly. In Phoenix, Ireland Horvath, Cronkite Sports Report.
Well, if you're planning a game of pickleball this weekend, do it early because it's going to be really hot.
That's right, Bree. Our Alexandra Cullen joins us now with what we could expect over this 4th of July weekend.
As we look at our evening planner this Thursday, 103 currently around 7 p.m., but as we head into those later evening hours around 10, it'll be 93, so a 10-degree decrease. If you're looking to get that late night drive-in, might be a little bit cooler out there. As we look at our future cast Thursday evening into tomorrow, really not much going on, guys. Even into our later hours as you head into work tomorrow morning, really nothing. However, as we look at those lows tomorrow, we're going to see 81 near Phoenix, 44 near the Grand Canyon, and 72 near Tucson. I'm wishing those lows were our highs because as we look at our high temperatures on Friday, 110 in Phoenix, 85 near the Grand Canyon, and 105 in Tucson. If you're looking to do anything fun over this 4th of July weekend, you may head up north, might be a little bit cooler out there. As we head into our 8-day forecast, Friday, 109. That is going to be the coolest day of this next week. 113 on Saturday and 116 on Sunday. But as we head closer to our 4th of July day, Monday, 114, Tuesday, 112. No need to bring out the grill. You could just put the steak on the sidewalk. Wednesday, 110. Thursday and Friday, both 111. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Alexandria Cullen.
Coming up, the Phoenix Mercury celebrate Pride Night tonight against the Indiana Fever.
And they were the first team in Arizona to celebrate the occasion.
Stay with us for a look at tonight's festivities.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Adrian Fairwell, General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism, from covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros. Students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Arizona Coyotes shocked the first round at this year's NHL draft.
The team had 2 top 15 picks and selected 2 Russian prospects. The Coyotes selected Russian defenseman Dmitry Simashev 6th overall. They followed that up selecting left winger and fellow Russian Daniil Boots 12th overall. Both players have 2 years remaining on their contracts in Russia, but will likely join the team once those expire. Last night, the Diamondbacks lost a heartbreaker 3-2 against the Rays. That was their 81st game of the season. That means they're exactly at the halfway point and are leading the NL West by 2.5 games. Our John Kuzi tells us what has been working for the D-backs so far.
Going into the season, the Diamondbacks had 40-1 odds to win their division. That is just a 2.44% chance. They now have a 23.53% chance to win the NL West as they close out the first half 15 games above 500. At the halfway point of the MLB season, the Diamondbacks have surprised everyone, winning about 60% of their games, and with 10 rookies on the active roster, the youth movement has been an important part to their success early in the year, and they will need to remain key contributors down the stretch.
You know, there's plenty of talent in this locker room. It's a balanced group of guys. The leadership is there. I think, you know, the recipe is there if we all just, you know, kind of buy into being ourselves and doing what makes us good.
Players that get to the big leagues have got to be prepared to impact baseball games. Put that on our young players. They know that. They've heard me say that several times. So they're a very important piece of our puzzle, and you can see how it's worked.
The mix of young talent and veteran leaders in the Diamondbacks locker room has worked well to start the season. And with the rookies getting more experience every game, the team will have high hopes to sustain their success. In the newsroom, John Kuzi, Cronkite News.
The Phoenix Mercury will be hosting their 9th annual Pride Night for tonight's matchup against the Indiana Fever at the Footprint Center. The atmosphere downtown will be extra colorful this evening as Pride festivities will be on full display at tonight's game. Plus, Mercury fans will receive special Pride-themed bucket hats. As the first team in Arizona to celebrate Pride Night, team president Vince Kozar says he knows how meaningful the Mercury support of the LGBTQ+ community is to the fans.
We have athletes like BG, who's been on the cover of ESPN the magazine and her coming out story. We have Diana, who's married to Penny, and they have a family. So, you know, they provide visibility to fans who maybe don't see themselves in other pro athletes and other leagues, but see themselves in our athletes.
After the break, the world-famous water skiing squirrel is on the open water again. Find out why Twiggy decided to strap on his skis once again. That's next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sensei Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Adrian Fairwell, General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Finally tonight, the world-famous water skiing squirrel Twiggy is back on the water.
That's right, Bree. Twiggy strapped on its skis and hit the water in Rochester, Minnesota. Twiggy has been entertaining crowds for decades and has appeared in a bunch of movies and music videos since the 70s. Of course, this Twiggy isn't the original. There have been 11 different squirrels that have played Twiggy over the years. Twiggy is now the spoke squirrel for the National Safe Boating Council.
That's it for Cronkite News. Thanks for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.